Like always, after a full moon, we become tired. Oh yeah, and we don't have a chance to save until after this day of social linking, so... I wish that it was like Persona 3 Portable, where you had a save point on your school desk, but we don't. In this game, at least. That is a good point, but I think we saved her for the right reasons. She has had a dramatic cutscene awakening her new persona. We had a whole fight that was a glorified tutorial on how to use her. I'm pretty sure she's going to join. Sadly, this means that we won't be hearing Tara Platt's awesome voice for our navigation from now on. Instead, we'll have... boy. She's still not saying anything different. In fact, with all that, oh hey, it's Kaz too. With all that full moon commotion, I've actually forgotten who we were supposed to see today. So I'm gonna say I haven't decided yet for practice. I'm gonna guess maybe Chihiro? Oh, it's Bebe again. Maybe. Well, a lot of people are coming at lunchtime today. Okay, I just went to the nurse's office when I was not, Okay, I just went to the nurse's office due to being tired to get my free medicine, and he gave me this powerful drug. Now, if I remember correctly... Well, let me just see if I have it in items. Powerful drug. Drink at your own risk. If I remember correctly, this is required for one of Elizabeth's side quests. So I'm kind of glad I got that now. You can get it at any time by going to the nurse if you're tired or sick. I'm not sure if it's random that you get it, or if you can get another healing item instead, or if you always get it at this point where the Elizabeth request be available. Of course, I don't know if it's available yet, because Elizabeth doesn't actually update her requests for a while. Mainly because we can't actually go to Tartarus for several days, thanks to... well, you'll see. Anyway, though, time to do the social link for today. Today, I was right, we are actually seeing Chihiro. And it's not quite yet, but very soon, something special will be happening with her. These two are discussing things now that, the whole crisis is over. Well, they sort of did. They were attacked by shadows, and their minds are probably fed on. I think we've already had this conversation. Yes. Anyway, hi there, Chihiro. We're going to hang out today again. And thankfully I have a matching persona. And last time we only got a spend time conversation, but things are going to be different now. Huh, we're actually at Chagall Cafe this time. Unfortunately, the coffee isn't going to increase our charm. Speaking of which, I still need to show that charm screen. Huh. Well, that's not good. It's funny, I always found the term drugstore weird. I don't think we call it that normally here in Australia. We usually call it a pharmacy. So whenever I saw the term drugstore when I was younger, in my immature mind, I thought it must have meant a place where you get illegal drugs. Which is why I was always just so weirded out there was a place in Pokemon games called a drugstore. Anyway. See, it even says pharmacy on the entrance there. Oh no. Yet another of these inevitable social link jerks, and also someone else mistaking Gary Stu for the boyfriend of someone. And the reason why I lost my train of thought there is, look in the distance there. Is that thug who was attacking us before, and one of the girls there as well? Why are they out and about in Polonium Mall? You don't need to know that. You can actually choose either option here. Oh yeah, you're totally not scared of us. And by the way, you should be scared. You know what? Oh, I have a feeling I know the kind of anime you're into. Yeah, get out. Oh no. It's happening. Now, at this point, holding her hand would definitely be too forward. We need to speak to her calmly. Oh no. I can see the signs. It's happening. It's happening. But that's level 4 of the Justice Arcana. And things are really intensifying. We're not quite there yet, but... Oh, I don't think she's sick. That's why I'm worried.
Oh, hey!
Hey, I was out getting the attentions of another totally hot babe. So, yeah, Mitsuru and Akihiko are in the hospital seeing Fuka, so no Tartarus tonight. Huh, the antique store's open now. Finally, it's about time. We've been getting a ton of gems that we can't do anything with at this point. Okay, that would be amazing. You know, Junpei's not as wrong as it seems. Yeah, they're both checking up. Thankfully, new party members take a much shorter time to recover than they do in Persona 4, where if you did the dungeons at a certain point, they could take ages to recover. But anyway, I'm going to just cut and save here because this was the first opportunity that I have to save after that full moon. So if I don't save here, I'm going to lose all my progress from that. Definitely saving now. So, after the full moon, we're basically in a no Tartarus period for most of the rest of this week. And because of that, Elizabeth has no new requests for us. Don't worry, she'll tell us when we do have more, but for now, no need to go to the Velvet Room, there are no new missions. There'll be a lot more soon, but for now, no need. Also, it's been so long since I actually promised that I'd do this, but... Yeah, our charm is confidence. We're halfway there. One more and we'll be able to talk to this guy. That's gonna be pretty important, but for now, more coffee. More coffee! Must have more coffee! More caffeine! Caffeine equals charm, for some reason. And the thing that we bought from the shows is here. Perfume. We're probably not going to be using that for a lot later, but those extra 5 medicines are nice. Oh, and lots more calls to reject. Sorry, Kenji. And another one. Sorry, Kaz. Our first 2 social links. And let's sleep earlier, because we actually have a reason to now. Now, tomorrow's just going to be a fairly ordinary day, but the 11th is going to have something very special. Also, sometime in the next few days, we're going to need another plot event as well. But it's still not going to let us go to Tartarus yet. Oh, well, that's really good. So, what's next? Yeah. And we could definitely use her help. I mean, even though Mysterious Creepy Boy said that, I actually agree with him for once. Mr. Ono's back. In other words, the guy who just wants to breeze through everything to get to the Sengoku era, because that's the only one that he cares about, and the only era that a lot of people care about, actually. Get the feeling that might be on the exam. Nara era must have been that time when Nara was the capital of Japan. Japan's capital moved several times. It's not quite as weird as the story of the capital of my country, Australia. Oh, and thankfully this question is not one where you get asked about it. I don't think we should ask Mr. Okada anything after what happened involving him yesterday. Well, not so much yesterday, but still. So anyway, story of Australia's capital. Basically, we had 2 cities that couldn't decide whether they should be the capital or not, so they built a totally new city and a completely new state that just consists of that one city in between the 2 of them to make them stop arguing. Yeah, it's weird. What, kids? Anyway, unfortunately we're not going to do that today. In fact, I don't think we see Yuko again for a while, which is probably why we did that relationship fortune, just to make sure we get at least some points up with her. I don't know if that counts as seeing her for the purposes of the whole 60-day until reverse limit. Is Yukari saying anything new? Yeah. Well, considering Gyarados was out for a whole week, oh, actually 2 weeks, I think. Yeah, he was out for a while, so I'm not surprised Fuka's still asleep. But today we're talking to Bebe. Now, I should point out that you do need a matching persona for today, so bear that in mind. So, good thing we fused Nigi Mitama earlier. So let's go enjoy more ridiculous accents. And more of that cap that really looks like the Golden Silver protagonist. And this one you can say anything. For some reason I keep wondering if all those mannequins in the background are actually causing the game to get an M rating in America. I wouldn't put it past them, honestly. So we can add sewing to the list of things Gary Stu is ridiculously good at. Huh. So, for this one, something traditional is the best response. He really wants to make a kimono. So, pretty standard, although this social link's going to get a little bit more interesting the next time we see him. Sorry if it feels like I'm speeding through this, I really want to get to tomorrow, because tomorrow I have a lot to talk about. It's still just early days for this link though, only rank 3.
Sup, dude?
And yeah, once again, no Tartarus Day. I am pretty sure she's going to be joining us, though. Oh yeah, Antique Shop. Okay, since we have nothing on tonight, really, I guess I can go there. I can show that off. That's good. Nothing interesting on the news. That's, again, kind of rare. Though it does tend to happen immediately after full moons. So, while we're out, might as well show the Antique Shop. It might take a little while explaining everything there, but we finally are able to actually do something with that place. Probably should have shown it off last night, but still. Doesn't really matter exactly when you go there, more that you just know that it's open now. And thankfully they are open at night, unlike the police station and B Blue V. So here's the antique store. We can finally go in. And here at the antique store we find someone else who seems to know about the shadows and everything that's going on. So, she creates weapons. Also, look at some of the stuff in the background there. Those clocks are interesting, but those little, like, idle things behind the owner, yeah, you might want to remember what they look like. Because we might be seeing that in quite a while. So, this method involves fusing personas into weapons to create new ones. This is a completely new mechanic to Persona 3 FES, the redone version. This was not in the original version. This is one of the things they actually mentioned when starting a new game that was new to this version. In order to make these fused weapons, you need Nile weapons. Nile sword or Nile gloves. So we actually start with one for free. But remember how I said the Golden Shadows would finally serve their real purpose soon? This is what it's for. They drop Nile weapons, and they're the really main way to get those. Now, what she's saying here is that that most personas only make just generic fuse weapons that you'll be seeing in a moment. But certain specific personas, if you fuse them with any Nile weapon, it doesn't actually matter what type, you'll create a completely unique weapon, and this is the only way to get the strongest weapons in the game. All of them involve persona fusion. And also, we finally have a use for all those jewels we've been finding that have been dropped from enemies and stuff. We can trade them to the owner here for items that you wouldn't normally be able to buy in stores. So, if we go to Weapon Fusion and use our Nile Sword, you can see that we get Mother Rapier or Mother Saber. All of these are just the generic fuse thing, but depending on how strong the persona is, you'll get a better weapon and with a different effect. So, Angel gives 64 power and Evade Wind low, but if we use, let's say, our highest level persona, we get a 94 power sword with counter physical low odds. So, what ability they get varies, and the power mostly depends on how strong the persona is. So, Valkyrie is, yeah, a little bit stronger than Angel, but Auto Tarukaja on a sword is really, really nice to have. So, I might kind of want to do that fusion. I'll need to make a new strength persona soon anyway, actually. Auto Rakukaja, not bad either. Poison Resist, oh, that would have been good having going to that previous boss, but we couldn't have even had it before. Evade Ice low is pretty nice. Another Evade Wind low. Evade Ice low. And that's all we have. But, you know, these don't cost any money either. I would kind of like a sword with Auto Tarukaja, and we're not seeing Yuko in a while. And we're going to need to fuse a new strength persona anyway. I actually might like to do this. So, yes, we're satisfied. And it does take time to make these weapons, and unfortunately it's not Pokemon Fossil time, where you just walk out of the shop, go back in, and it's done. You have to wait for a day. That gets a little tricky for some of the more powerful Persona Fused weapons, but anyway. We can also trade jewels for these cards. We've been getting a few of the cards from some enemies and from some of Elizabeth's requests. Well, firstly I should explain, cards boost a Persona's stats if you use it on them. So, always remember to register the Persona to the Compendium after using a card, otherwise you might lose those stats if you get rid of the Persona. So, all cards give a boost to luck, but they all boost other stats too. Swords boost strength, cups boost endurance, wands boost magic, and coins boost agility. So these can be useful for strengthening personas. It's theoretically possible to max out every stat on every persona, but it's going to take a while for the lower leveled ones. The item trades are the ones I find more interesting, because you can get items here that you could not buy normally in stores, like bead chains. Fully restores the party's HP, very useful, but we need 2 opals for that, which we don't have. Also, this is the easiest way to get SP recovery items as well. Though, we don't have emeralds, and don't have rubies or pearls. Huh. So we need a bunch of old Pokemon cartridges to buy these. Anyway, Precious Egg looks very interesting, but that's going to cost us quite a few precious gems. Balm of Life as well. I think this is the only way you can get this one. We can also get these things, the Purifying Rice and the Curse Paper, and the Homunculus. Remember how I said that we'd be able to buy these eventually? Well, not technically buy, but with Diamonds and Sapphires we can get a Homunculus, which we're going to actually want a lot of these later in the game. Also, Magic Mirror and Attack Mirror can be quite useful in certain situations. Dekaja gems are really useful against some bosses that like to spam stat buffs, and Dekunda gem is alright, but I'd rather use that skill in one of my personas. Then we have the Sutras, which cast a buff on the entire party. Megado gem, kind of interesting that. That's an almighty attack, so nothing resists it. Treosto gem, which let you escape from the dungeon. This lets you escape from a battle, which I really don't find all that useful for the most part. And then we have a few items that are just gifts for the various romantic social links that we can have. Although the Goggle-Eyed Idol is useful for something else as well. So remember that you can get the Goggle-Eyed Idol here. For now, though, that's basically all we can do at the antique store, but definitely going to be spending a lot of time here. It's a very, very, very useful aid to our Tartarus expeditions. So now we're going to go and have more caffeine! And I'm mashing the X button like I've had a lot of caffeine. I actually don't drink coffee at all in real life. I'm kind of paranoid of the withdrawal symptoms. And no booster charm. Well, it's also more like, I don't like artificially giving myself energy. I don't drink energy drinks either. I just feel like they are kind of unhealthy in the long run. Huh. Now, unfortunately we can't talk to Chihiro tonight, but tomorrow we're gonna make up for that, let's just say. And study. I kind of want academics to go up soon. Really feels like it's kind of overdue at this point. And no academics boost. Oh well. Now, today, something very, very special is going to happen. And that's part of why I've kept uploading these videos, because I really wanted to show this before if you're watching these when I upload them, there's going to be a bit of a break from this game soon, but if not, that won't really apply to you. But definitely wanted to upload at least this, because something very, very important is going to happen today, and it may or may not involve Chihiro. She's blushing. And seems nervous. Gary Stu, what have you done? We'll see exactly what he's done to her pretty much right now, actually, because she is the social link we're going to do today, and also we get a brief scene here. Akihiko. Okay, Fuka took a shorter time to recover than Gary Stu. I mean, I'm thankful for that, but I thought Gary Stu was supposed to be the most brokenly overpowered thing in this plot. Okay, so today's special in multiple ways. This evening, we're going to have a bit of a plot cutscene as well. So now... And yeah, what she says has changed. And are you saying anything new? I vaguely think that's new. Last time you were talking about ghost girls. For some reason reminds me of, you know, there was one dating sim where one of the girls actually turns out to be a ghost. Weird. But we're gonna be, not quite dating, but almost dating a girl who is definitely not a ghost. Awkward segue. Definitely make sure that we have a matching persona. And yes, we definitely want to spend time with her after school. Because something's about to happen with her. And in fact, it's part of why we've been focusing on this link so much lately. It'll all make sense soon. Oh, the sweet store again. So how was it, is what you say here. Now, this rank is actually kind of tricky, despite how important it is. Well, probably because of how important it is. I'm pretty sure that none of the options here are any ones. You actually have to be specific every single time, and there are a lot of questions in this one. So how was it is the first one. Something more important, huh? Oh no. I see where this is going. Yeah, because Gary Stu is the only one allowed to be a creep in this universe. Oh, it's worse than I imagined. It's just a coincidence. Despite both these seeming similar, this one seems a bit more cruel, so this is the better one. No, it's not a coincidence, and that's what I'm worried about. You see, this would be really sweet if it was with anyone other than Gary Stu. Oh. So, rank 5 of the Justice Link is very important. We have officially started our first romance. And that comes with an important consequence. One which Gary Stu is going to try his best to avoid. Wait for it. So here it is. Red text, that's important. Time to go over the mechanic that makes doing a max social links run of this game very, very difficult. By far the biggest obstacle towards it, the jealousy system. Happy late Valentine's Day, everyone! It's time to get introduced to the world of romance proper in this game, and it's one of the things that makes maxing out all social links very difficult. The main reason being, if you want to max every link, you don't really have a choice in who you romance in this game. Certain social links will always go romantic at a certain point, and there's nothing you can do about it, which can be problematic if you're already dating someone else at the time. Since we haven't started a few of these links yet, I'll just mention the arcanas themselves rather than the characters. The social links that are counted as romances in this game are Priestess Empress, Lovers, Justice, and Strength. I've indicated this in the social link bios by making the window of that character's name pink to indicate romance. But a few things to clarify here. Firstly, Elizabeth does not count. She's not a social link, so she doesn't count for the purposes of this. The other thing? The new social link introduced in FES, the Aeon. I've heard conflicting reports as to whether or not it counts as a romance for these purposes. I've seen some guides say it does, I've seen some say it doesn't, so I'm actually really not sure, and if anyone could clarify, that would be good. The reason why I want clarification is which social links count as romances and which don't is very important for a certain mechanic, and that is jealousy. After a certain point in any of these 5 social links that I mentioned, the link will officially enter into romance, and you'll get a message saying that they might get jealous if you go out with another girl. By this definition, another girl is any of these other 5. Elizabeth doesn't count, and like I said, I'm not sure whether Aeon does or doesn't count. I'm not even sure if Aeon even gets jealous. But anyway, I like to call the point at which the social link enters this as the jealousy state. Most girls hit jealousy state at around rank 7 or 8. Chihiro is a special exception, but how does jealousy actually work? Well, I said before that there are 3 ways for a social link to go reverse in this game. Not seeing them for 90 days, agreeing to meet up with them on a Sunday and cancelling, or in some cases choosing a certain dialogue choice that's so mean it reverses the link immediately. All of those are true for romances, but there is one additional factor. Firstly, girls that you're romantic with go reverse if you don't see them for 60 days rather than 90, but there is an additional stipulation. Every time you spend time with a different romantic social link, 15 days is subtracted from that timer. So now, say we saw Chihiro, then we immediately see Yuko. Now it's going to be 45 days before Chihiro goes reverse rather than 60. Do it again and it'll be 30 days, then 15, and then finally nothing. So you're only allowed to see another girl a maximum of 4 times. And that's where planning the max social link schedule gets really difficult because, of course, if you're dating another girl at the same time, they've got this countdown timer as well that will also go down if you see different people. So the max social links run of this game effectively becomes a giant puzzle as to how to cheat on all the girls as much as possible without any of them finding out. Yeah, Gary Stu is a terrible role model, do not try this at home. The female protagonist in Portable doesn't actually have to worry about this as much because they have the option of staying platonic with their romantic links, so they can max all of them while still only committing to one person. You can do that in Persona 4 as well. Fortunately, male protagonist route of Persona 3, you are forced to be a total player and date all the girls at once if you want to max out all the social links. So, yeah, we have to be kind of a jerk. One more thing. I'm pretty sure this penalty to the time limit only happens if you outright see the other girl as in a social link or a spend time interaction. There are a few ways in this game that you can see social link characters randomly while out walking and get a small boost to them. We'll cover that later, but I don't think that triggers jealousy. Also, once we get a social link maxed out, we don't have to worry about jealousy for that link ever again. Yeah, once again, Gary Stu is a terrible role model. He sees finally forming a fully committed relationship with someone as an excuse to cheat on them as much as he wants. Yeah. And now, back to our romance in progress. Okay, now that that's out of the way, I should point out that there is a reason why the guide focuses on romancing Chihiro first. It's because she is the fastest girl to enter jealousy state out of all of them. She enters it at rank 5, which is actually really early. And there is kind of a reason for that, as you'll see later in the link, but for now, just bear in mind that she is the easiest one to get jealous, so that's why we focus on her first. Oh, unfortunately, Gary still looks at every girl that way. And don't be so hard on yourself, is what we have to say here. Well, at least that's nice. So, then there's this. This is kind of a massive trap, and actually a little bit cruel what the game does here. You just started a romance with this girl, and now we get one of the most, well, the absolute worst kind of social link prompts. The one where if you pick the wrong option, you can undo all of that. Thankfully, the game completely warns you about it here. In some other social links, it doesn't warn you at all, and that's what makes those ones particularly troublesome. But in this case, there is pretty clear warning. So, this is also another case where Japanese cultural knowledge comes in handy. Particularly with this. In Japanese culture, kissing is seen as extremely intimate. It's not something that you do spontaneously, and it's definitely not something you do with someone you've only just started dating. Out of curiosity, I actually on a practice run went and chose this option just to see what happened. Oh boy did I regret it. Choosing this option reverses the link instantly. Yep, automatic reverse, as if you cheated on her. So that is definitely a bad idea. Holding her hand, however... It's actually animated too, which is amazing. That gives you a really big boost. So, play your cards right, and that social link scene is incredibly heartwarming. Do it wrong, though, and oh boy, the mood of it changes very quickly. Trust me, I did that on a practice run.
You're Fuka Yamagishi, right?
Also, where we launch into a plot cutscene. Trust me, I did that on a practice run. You don't want to do that. Seriously, it's really painful. Anyway.
Yes.
So, you're the one who's been infamous for that voice.
Relax. There's no need to be nervous. Why don't you have a seat?
Yeah, the only time you need to get nervous around here is if he's about to make a pun.
Everyone, you did an excellent job uncovering the truth.
No, wait a minute, wrong game.
I also wanted to let you know, the three girls have all regained consciousness.
Well, that's great.
What a relief.
From what I understand, they each came to school around midnight and waited for the security guard to leave.
And they had no idea that, well, the school literally was haunted.
They were attacked by shadows near the gate as the dark hour began.
Which meant those girls saying it wasn't apathy syndrome, well, to put it bluntly, were wrong.
However, the facts became twisted because of rumors concerning a ghost story.
I knew right from the beginning that it wasn't a ghost.
Yeah, but it was still something paranormal.
It's all my fault. Are you kidding? You were the victim. But I made so many people worry. Hey, don't think like that.
We could have lost that fight if you weren't there.
She does have a point there.
You saved our lives. You should feel good about yourself.
She saved Natsuki as well.
You have a special power that you can use to help others.
But we know where this is going.
A special power?
Yeah, so that huge blue explosion and that giant manifestation of your psyche that just appeared, that was all just a hallucination.
We call it persona.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that Fuka kind of denies having a special power after that.
You could be a tremendous help to us. Will you lend us your strength?
Well, Mitsuru's getting right to the point.
Are you asking me to join you?
Mitsuru-senpai?
You know, we're not trying to pressure you, so if you need some time to think about it... I'll do it.
Well, that was completely expected. Unique portrait, name, voice acting, yeah, and a persona. She was gonna join us. Of course she was.
Are you sure? If you join, you'll have to live here.
And that means living with Gary Stu.
That's fine. I'd rather live here than at home anyway.
Oh, that really doesn't sound good. Everyone seems to have issues on this team.
We really appreciate this. We'll have the school talk to your parents to resolve any issues.
It's gonna be a little tricky to explain how, yeah, we kind of have to move your daughter here. We can't tell you why, but, well, it's important, let's just say. Really, really, really important. Like, the world would end if she didn't.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Aren't we dragging her into this a bit fast?
It's okay, really.
Now then, those special shadows showed up again. We still don't know where they're coming from, but Akihiko is right about one thing. Their appearances seem to coincide with the full moon. We'll take that into consideration from now on.
So they're kind of like werewolves then, huh?
Junpei says what we're all thinking.
It's a big advantage for us to know when to expect them.
Yes, yes it is. Plus, punching werewolves is always a good thing.
Now, on the day of the fight, we'll be ready to get in the ring.
And more boxing metaphors. Yukari seems concerned about Fuka being forced to join. There must be some reason why. So, yeah, as if it wasn't obvious now, there'll be a boss fight every full moon. This is pretty much the first point where that's completely explicit, but... well, you pretty much knew that right from the start. Hey, it looks like Junpei's playing a handheld game there. Well, Gary Stu thinks not bad. Probably the only thing Junpei likes about school. But Yukari still has some issues about her being forced to join. Oh yeah, it was definitely a great day for Gary Stu, but not for the reasons you think. Oh, and because they're walking Fuka home, that means, once again, this is a no Tartarus night. Fewer June brides this year, okay. Actually not so sure about that, might need to do research, but that was a pretty big plot scene and a pretty big social link moment, so for now we're gonna save, and I still want to keep going a little bit because the next day something else important is going to happen. That's actually both social link related and plot related, so look forward to that. Though some of you might actually not want to look forward to it because, yeah, I don't think you're gonna like it.